everyone, and welcome to our third episode of season two of Fae Fam Talks, where I, Glamour Fairy, talk to content creators about their journeys through content creation and more. Our guest today here is the wonderful Mooshbean. Their pronouns are she, her. Every time I've ever gone into their stream to do my lurking thing, because that's what I do. I lurk a lot in streams. I'm always having a blast, and it's almost very difficult for me to not say something in the chat. I found Mushbean through my friend Shiny Wave and a few other content creators that I've watched. But before we get into their journey as well as their topic of choice, which is will be about streaming with chronic illness as well as mental health awareness and things of the sort. Would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
So hello, I'm Mooshbean. I go by Moosh or Mooshi. Everyone likes to say Mooshi in like a squeaky voice, so it kind of stuck. I am a variety streamer that kind of fell into streaming as a way to socialize and kind of get to talk to people when I wasn't really in a place where I could talk to people a lot. And I'm just a small bean that likes to live in the woods, and I collect little animals and I love them dearly. And I'm just a little cozy, chaotic nerd who wants to make people smile. Well, that's me. That's the Mushi for you.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love that. And I absolutely love your makeup. For those that aren't watching or that aren't watching it but are listening to it on the podcast, you are missing out. This makeup is absolutely gorgeous with this mushroom freckles. I love it so much.
Thank you.
So, words aren't happening today apparently because this is like the third time I've completely blanked on everything. Um, but what has made you start streaming? Because you said that you started streaming with because you wanted to socialize in ways because you couldn't socialize in other ways.
Yeah, so I have always been like very introverted, and being around people physically would exhaust me, and I just kind of stopped. I stopped trying. I stopped being around people as much as I could, and that's when I kind of fell into the world of like online content, because you are essentially fully in control of how
Mm-hmm.
much you give. Like, you fully can say, I have 2 spoons today, that's how many you get. Like, you can't really control that in like a like face to face situation. Like, or at least in my experience, I just feel like you're stuck there until the other person's done as
Right.
well. So it was kind of I fell into it, and found YouTube and what people were doing there, and then I
Mm-hmm.
stumbled into Twitch by accident. Somebody I knew on Tumblr was streaming, and I was like obsessed. I was
Ah.
like, I look up to you. It's Misha Crossing. You probably know, Plant Army team
Yes.
leader,
Mm-hmm.
amazing human being. Knew her from Tumblr, and she was like a big part of me being like, I can do this. I want to do this. This is a great way to find friends. And that's kind of just, I've been stumbling through life, so I stumbled into this as well.
I love that. It's always fun to see where people start and how they found Twitch initially because you found Twitch through Misha and Misha Crossing was known for her Animal Crossing content originally. Uh, and
Mhm.
so it's really fun to see some of the other Animal Crossing peeps are coming through. Um, a lot of people I've talked to have found Twitch through Simply Press Start Crystal, and Misha Crossing as well. Like between the two of them, it's kind of like people are coming to Twitch because of them, and it's really kind of cool to see that,
Yeah.
and see the community grow from the small like little Animal Crossing community kind of grow into like literally everything else. Because like I have steered away from Animal Crossing a little bit just because I'm a little burnt out, like a little a little bit of everybody has been a little burnt out.
Yeah.
Um, just a little bit, and been switching on to like other games like Dead by Daylight and other sorts of games. And I've been seeing you play like more horror games as well. And I'm not much into horror games, but I've been like watching some of the games you've been playing, and I'm like, I'm thinking about it now.
Yay, do it. It's fun. There's a unique thing with Animal Crossing players and horror games. Like
Yeah.
there's a very direct like direction. I feel like the cozy has built up and now we're like just chaotic and ready to let it go.
We're like, so it's too cozy, too cozy. Let's kind of like bring in some chaos here and just throw something out there. Let's go kill some people. Like,
Yeah, like gotta get some of this pent upness out somehow. Like
I
every
feel
time
like,
I was mad.
right? It's kind of
Yeah.
it kind of works with that because like I work as a cashier at a gas station, so I like deal with a lot of people a lot throughout the day, and it's very annoying, I guess. By the end of the day, I'm like, I don't want to be cozy. I want to be like angry still. So like, let me go ahead and play some Dead by Daylight and kill some people, or let's go play some Survivor and just kind of run around and do whatever.
Yeah.
So it kind of works that way. So with oh gosh, brain blinking again. With nope, it's gone. Okay, so we're gonna skip that section in my brain because it's not gonna come back for a minute.
I
Where did you
love it.
steer your inspiration from for content creating? Like, where did you get your inspiration from?
Honestly, like a main source of my inspiration, like it feels really weird, but it's Markiplier and like the old YouTubers
Yeah, yeah.
that they were like the groundwork for where we are now.
Mhm.
Them being unapologetically themselves, even when it was just the biggest dummy on the planet, when they were just being weird and funny and like just having skits with their friends, like something about that energy was like very inspirational to me because I was like, this is how I act on a day
Mhm.
to day basis. I'm sometimes loud, I'm sometimes dumb, I sometimes say things that like I don't think through, and I just loved the direction they were taking the gaming industry as it gamers, and it inspired me to be like, hey, why don't you carve out your own little corner of the internet and you collect people that are like you and you make someone smile like they did for you when you were in a place that you needed a smile.
I love
So
that.
yeah, like I think it just came from that, like just the
Seeing the people
core
that
like
yeah,
beginning.
the people that
Yeah.
started everything, because they did it when everybody else was like, are you sure you can make money off of playing video games all day? Like, are you sure that's okay? And then like here we are, there's so many Twitch streamers, so many YouTubers in general, and then there's other platforms that are being created for uh, content creating as well. Like to this day, there's more, and it's just growing more and more to this, you know, compared to like a year and a half ago before the panini happened. Like there was already a lot of people streaming, and now there's even more people streaming because everybody had that extra time, and there's more people on the platform and multiple platforms. So like seeing all of that just being started out from people like Markiplier and whatnot, PewDiePie playing games, and
Yeah.
seeing that and just growing from it, it's really cool.
It really is because like I grew up with like my parents being like very supportive of my gaming hobby, but they would say things like, "You're not gonna make a living off gaming," or "You're not gaming's not gonna be your future." And I was like, "Bet, let's go. I
Let's
will make
go.
it my future."
I love that.
So
Well, and it's true too, because like a lot of people, that's something that I've talked to some people about, like how their family view gaming in a career wise, because my family is like, we're all about gaming. Like, all of us have our specific things that we like to do. We're a very Nintendo centric family, but we all play the same different types of like games. Like, we all have our own things that we do. So my dad is very interested in seeing what I'm doing, and he he does Twitch Prime subs to me every month, but he doesn't do it during stream because he can't see it, and because where they're at, their internet is like absolute shite, so they can't see it very well. But he's like, "Hey, I have this Twitch Prime thing, and you're telling me that it's free, and I could just like subscribe to you, and it gives you money." I was like, "Yes," and he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna go tell your grandpa to do the same thing." And I'm like, why? He's never gonna be on there. He's like, no, but it gives you free money, so I'm doing it. Got it. All right, you do that. But like, my family is very centric on video games, while other families I've seen are like kind of like, you sure about that? You sure you want to be doing that?
Yeah. That's
And we,
that's kind of how my parents are. Like my dad's a big gamer, but my mom's like, I played Pac-Man. That's it. So,
I get my love of Zelda from my mom, and I get my love of just like Nintendo based games from my dad, and then I get my rage issues from both of them.
oh, that's nice.
So I always
That's
rage
I
at
love
games.
that.
So with content creating, I'm not very familiar. I don't think you have do you have a YouTube?
No, I have always wanted to do a YouTube, and like that's kind of a goal for this year is to start one. But it's a little overwhelming. I'm a little scared, you know. It's an extra thing to put on your plate as a content creator, and there's always the fear that you're gonna flop. And
Oh God, yeah, that's
ooh,
such a mood. It took me over a year just to get to the 100 subscriber mark. But I also wasn't posting very regularly either on YouTube. So I've been trying to make it more of an adamant thing for me to not only be posting the podcast each week, but to also be posting at least one or two other videos that I have. A lot of my videos right now are just post of videos from Twitch that I had before, and I like
mhm.
recorded it, and then I just cut off the beginning part, cut off the end part, cut out the be right back screen, mush them together, and throw them on YouTube. That way, it's little to no editing for me. Otherwise, if you do some sort of like, oh, I'm gonna do a playthrough and I'm gonna cut out everything that I don't want in there, it literally takes me so long to actually like edit a video and post it because I just don't have the energy for it.
Yeah, that's like what I'm afraid of. Is like I'm not gonna have the energy to like set and commit like this all this time to editing or like to a separate recording or um it's scary, but I really do want to take the plunge because I know it's really good for you and it's like good to like broaden your horizons and like there's a term I'm trying to say like what is it when you diversify your
Yes.
content because being on one platform is never really the best go.
Right. It it's really difficult to be on just like one platform. You have to kind of, like you said, diversify all of your content into other places. People are getting found on TikTok, and they're just like doing like cute little POVs, and then like 2 months later
Yeah.
they get Twitch partner, and you're like, huh?
Yeah, like the TikTok phenomenon. I could talk about that for days. Like I have been studying it to a like almost to a scientific level. Like I watch these people that like they'll document their growth on Twitch over like the month or something, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my, TikTok's the place to be."
Yeah, and but then
Like,
you have to also come up with all the ideas of that. You have to find like what your stories are going to be if you do a POV, or if you're going to be doing or if you're going to be doing just like clips from your stream, you have to find the clips and then you have to cut it and then like edit those as well, and that's a whole nother editing sort of thing compared
Yeah.
to YouTube. Like, I'm just still trying to figure out YouTube. I like, it's a lot to deal with it. So I don't post enough regularly on TikTok either, and like, I just, the only thing I do regularly is be on Twitch.
Yeah.
I could be on Twitch regularly, and that's about it.
I'm not even good at being regularly on Twitch. I'm still getting there. So you're one step ahead.
It's just easier 'cause for, I think for me it's because after work, when I get off of work, I come home, I grab something to eat, I sit down, I turn on my camera and call it good. Like, I literally just like, and I don't have any other responsibilities other than work right now. Like, I have a husband, but you know, he's not a responsibility. He's just there.
Aren't they though? Aren't husbands a little bit of a responsibility?
I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
He's usually doing the same thing, and he usually wants to play games with me at the same time. So he's like, "Are you playing Dead by Daylight?" I'm like, "Yes. Can I play with you?" Yes. Like, I have to
Aw.
think about it.
I've been trying to convince mine to get into Dead by Daylight. I had to make him watch a bunch of YouTube videos. I was like, look, it can be fun. He's like, no, it's not Rocket League.
Oh my god. My husband is like, he's like, I told him, I'm like, hey, I think you'd enjoy this game. It's very similar to some of the other games you play. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, I'll check it out. When my husband gets into something, he gets into it. I think we said that he has ADHD, so like, he gets focused on certain things and like just wants to be the best at it, right? So
Yeah.
so when he was done with Genshin, like, he was kind of done with Genshin Impact, he like switched into Dead by Daylight, and like, he just got like head on into it, and now he's like rank, I think he's rank 7 right now, but he's well on his way to getting to the red ranks, and he's been working on his killer right now. He's rank 8 on killer, and I'm like, dude, I'm nowhere near that with killer. I'm very like, I'm good with survivor. Let's just stick there. I've been solid staying at the same spot for a while, and I'm okay there. I don't want to be in the sweaty reds. Like, please don't. But like,
Yeah.
his focus is just really like right into it.
I love that though. Like I can relate to the hyperfixation because I hyperfixate on things
Mhm.
due to ADHD. And
Mhm.
so like it gets intense. Like you can only see that for a bit, like your tunnel vision, and you're like, this
Mhm.
is what I'm doing, this is what I like. I do now. Goodbye everyone.
Yeah. Right. And then
Yeah.
and he yeah, the whole hyperfixating thing, because like, for the longest time, when, especially when he was in his Genshin phase, he was really like, he would only play that game and like wouldn't do anything around the house for like the entire time. And I was like, okay, once you're done with like this story, are you able to do this? And he's just like, yeah, yeah, after this story. And then he just like whoosh right into it again. And I find this even funnier that I'm talking about him. He's sitting right next to me, and also he is in the chat. So like, it's even funnier that he's just like so focused. He's like talking about something else. Like, it's great. I love it. He's playing Dead by Daylight right now. So
I love that. I love that. That makes
um,
me happy.
so other than YouTube, do you have other plans for extra content creation that you're doing?
Yeah, I would actually. So at the beginning of the year, I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I've done New Year's resolutions, I swear the universe slaps me in the face. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I said I'm gonna give myself individual goals each month to improve myself overall.
Okay.
And one of those was consistent content creation, as consistent as I'm physically able.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to stop canceling so much on Twitch, but that kind of goes into I want to post regularly on TikTok. I have like a notebook full of ideas and like what I want to do and like the method on how I'm gonna do it and like post schedules and like I've made a little calendar and it's like, okay, on this day I'm gonna do bulk recordings, get everything out, and then get it ready to be posted over like the course of a week or two. So like I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of putting myself into that like motion of being able to like consistently post to TikTok at least like once or twice a week at
Mm-hmm.
minimum, you know? So that way I'm diversifying over there. YouTube eventually. Instagram's dead. It
Yeah.
doesn't even do, they're not even doing photos anymore, apparently. They're like, they're the new TikTok. I'm deleting that. And, and I'm
Oh
trying
my
to tweet at
god.
least once a day.
Oi.
So, woo,
I get
she's
that.
trying.
Right. And I've been kind of doing the same thing. I just made a personal like planner Discord for myself because
Ooh.
I I saw somebody else do it. Again, it was TikTok. I saw it on
Yeah.
TikTok and I was like, "Ooh, that's a good idea. Why haven't I thought of that?" Because I'm always on Discord. I literally have my Discords organized to a point where like these are the ones that I mod, these are the ones that are my friends, and like I have everything like organized to a point. And I look through quite a bit on Discord. I'm like, why don't I just have my own personal planner on there because I'm always on there already. So I have that up there, and I have like different spots in there where it's like TikTok ideas, YouTube ideas, stream ideas, future plans that I need to actually organize. And then I have like my weekly schedules on there. I'm like, okay, I will actually keep focus on my scheduling, especially because my work for the longest time, I didn't know what time, day, or anything I was working for the longest time. The only thing I knew for certain was that on Saturday and Sundays, I was working a specific schedule, and on Thursdays and Fridays, I had off. So I was like, I know that these are perfect. I can, like, make plans for those days. The other days, who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Right?
So it was kind of nice to actually get stuff put together, and I'm actually able to I know when I'm supposed to be posting my Twitter posts for um, I know when I was supposed to be posting your intro for today's event. I was going to be posting it on Tuesday. Did I post it on Tuesday? No, I posted it on like Thursday. I got the T
Oh, it,
right.
yeah, like that was close enough. There was an attempt. We love it.
Exactly. I know I did post it, so that was the main focus on that. So
Exactly.
that was definitely something that I was kind of working towards as well, was for planning those specific things.
Nice. I like the Discord personal planner because like I feel like that's easier to keep up with in a way because you're all like if you're a content creator, you're always on Discord. Like you
Mm-hmm.
always have it open.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that would be I want to do one now. I'm probably gonna start one after this podcast. I'm
Perfect.
gonna make myself one.
I need to like fix some of mine because I literally threw it together last week, and I like just like have different spots where I have the ideas and then like my weeklies, but I want to add some other stuff in there, like things that I need to like move into like doing like I'm supposed to be doing a stream with my husband at some point because it was a thing that we unlocked. I have like two other things that we unlocked that I have to actually plan. So I have that all set off to the side. It's ready. I just gotta actually do it. But
Heck yeah.
I think it's a great idea to have a personal planner Discord. It's definitely one of those top things to do.
Yeah. Definitely need one.
All right, so this was something that was difficult for me to actually put on the overlay, but your topic of choice was about chronic illness and streaming, as well as mental health. I'm gonna let you start off that.
Okay. So, I figured it was probably a weird topic to choose, but it's something that's kind of been in the forefront of my mind for a minute. I'm somebody that I'm chronically ill. I have chronic migraines that really impact me as a online person. someone that lives in front of a screen. It's very difficult. But also, I have a compromised immune system, and I was diagnosed with that like 15 years ago. So my immune system, like low key, does not exist. It sabotages me at every turn. It exhausts me. Like I'm chronically more tired than anyone else. I'm gonna say that word too many times. It's gonna lose its meaning. But I'm like always tired because of it. I need extra sleep, and I get sick probably like once a month because I go outside and I'll catch anything and everything. And which you can imagine how the panini last year was a little bit
Yeah.
more terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But there is like this correlation with chronic illness and streaming, and that you can't do it because you can never be consistent. But I don't believe in consistency in the traditional manner. Like I think you can be successful and still be chronically ill and not be consistent. Like I think you just have to learn what works for you, and that's just something that I've wholeheartedly believe.
I think that's great because like you said, you don't think of consistency as most people do, which I kind of feel the same way because when I'm I don't have chronic illness, but I have depression. So like with mental illness, like it's something that like one day you're fine and you're like your brain just kind of literally just clicks off and you're like no. So
Yeah,
so you just kind of have to figure out what works best for you. If you know when you're not doing so hot, you know that you can tell everybody, "Hey, I'm not doing so hot. I'm gonna just kind of cancel today." And your community you have created will be okay with that. And if they're not okay with that, then obviously you don't want them in your community to begin with. So, you know.
exactly. Like you have to find like-minded people. Like I think that's the beauty of community building is you find those like kindred souls. And with like chronic illness and like mental health, I think transparency is like the most important key to that, is like being like, hey, this is who I am. I am this is me. And there's no shame in that. Like I know a lot of people want to have like that disassociation from it, or they don't want it to like label them, but like I wear it as a freaking like sticker, hello, my name is. Like I'm proud of who I am. Like I got here. I lived far longer than I ever anticipated living. Like like I was sick my whole life. I was in and out of hospitals. So I was very kind of like conservative with it at the beginning. I was like, I don't really want to tell people. Like, I don't want people to look at me different. And then I was like, wait, why? I've always been proud of who I am. So I came in and I was like, hey, I can't do this today, y'all. I need a nap. And I just slept 12 hours, but I need another one. Like, I'm not good today. I'm sick. Or I'd take like a whole month off because, I'm ill, or because I just like, my body is not physically up to par. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'm listening to her. She takes me where I need to go. She's done me well these 27 years of life. So I'll do her a favor and I'll lay down on the couch today. So
And that's very important is to be making bleh, is to make sure that you're listening to your body and taking care of it because like you said, she's taking care of you so far. You got to take care
yeah.
of her as well. You got to
Yeah.
give the same energy back.
Yeah. And like a lot of people don't realize though, like they may not be chronically ill, but like there's a in streaming, there's a grind culture. And so you're constantly going, you're constantly moving and uh, never wanting to stop. Like there's this fear, this constant fear. Like if I stop right now, I lose everything I've built. It's like we're playing with a house of cards. That's what Twitch is. It's a house of cards. And I think we've created that for ourselves. I don't think that that exists. I think that we have created that culture. And if we kind of dismantle the house of cards and make it more firm, we would be better off, because it's like they, not chronically ill people, make themselves ill by not stopping, not ever taking a break. Like you're just working yourself into the ground. And I'm like, listen to the person that takes time off. You don't lose it. You won't lose what you build if they really love you, you know? Like,
Mm-hmm. People will be there for you, and that's something that I've definitely have talked a little bit about in multiple times is that Twitch does show a lot of grindy stuff. Like you have to like people are saying you have to be consistent. You have to go ahead and be live 5 days a week, 8 hours each day, and you have to like. These are things that I've asked some people before the podcast, like way back. I asked, hey, how did you achieve partner? And they're like, oh, I streamed 5 days a week and streamed 5 to 8 hours a day. And I'm like, don't have that's a job. Like I get that that's what this is
yeah.
supposed to be, but like where do you have time to improve? Where do you have time to like add more stuff in there? And like I'm constantly changing my stuff, and it's like I don't know, grinding on Twitch, like you said, is not Twitch. It's us because we're doing it. We're the ones that are going ahead and adding more into that, being like, oh yeah, we're telling other people that we have to, in order for us to get partner, we have to stream every single damn day and never do anything else.
Yeah, like I think there was like a competitive nature associated to it at first, and then it
Hmm.
became like not so much as it was competitive, but it's like if you're not producing content, you're not almost like worthy of what you have. Like
Hmm.
people, it became like this very long, complicated, wet, like knot. And it's like, what? How did we get here? No. And I got a really unique perspective on it though, because I take so much time off
Hmm.
for my illness that I'm like, oh, we just have goggles on, y'all. If we just take those off, if we just yeet those to the side, we get a whole new fresh perspective. Like it's wild out
Hmm.
here. It's really nice taking time off, and it's really nice knowing that like people are understanding because like even people that have never had like severe health problems, like
Hmm.
they understand. Like people get to know, hey, like I know what it's like when I have the flu. And I know what it's like when I do this. Like so when you're just open and you're like, "Hey, I'm not feeling it, y'all. Like I can't." It's it'll be okay to cancel and to like I think there is a whole world of streaming for people, and like no matter what you have going on, I think you can do it. You just have to
Hmm.
know what works for you and what's best for your own like health.
Hmm.
And I was going somewhere with that and it just you went out the door. I got your brain thing. Hold on.
We're sharing the same brain cell today.
Yeah, we're sharing one brain cell and it's like, "Oh no, it's running out of words."
Who's got it this time?
I think it went back to you because it left me for a second.
But with what you're saying, it does make sense, and like that was something I had to do. I had to take a break at the beginning of the year, and like the end of February, beginning of March, and I had to take a break because I had some things happen with me that I just wasn't comfortable with, and I needed to like stop, and I just took the break, and it was like an unplanned thing too, and usually I plan my breaks when I do them, and I'm like, hey, I haven't streamed in the last 3 days that I typically would stream. I'm going to take the rest of February and take another week off because I'm not doing so hot, and I'm going to just leave it at that. Like, I don't need to give you guys any more information about it. And everyone was totally fine with it. And when I came back, it was so nice to come back to where I was at because I felt like I had never left because it was like 2 weeks and it was nice. People need
Yeah.
to take more breaks.
Yeah, and those 2 weeks probably did wonders for you. And it was like probably a huge refreshing moment. And I get I have an experience with canceling things all the way back into when I was like in high school before I got homeschooled because I would
Hmm.
take one day off. You know, school week's 5 days. I went 4 days a week. I never did five. I don't think my entire freshman or sophomore year, I went 5 days a week. I cannot remember a time. I was constantly in trouble with school, but I was a straight A student. And so
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't say anything. And, but I learned at a young age that exhaustion will kill you. Like it will put you
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital, it will take you out. You need to like take care of your body. So, like, even if it's just like a week, it's so worth it, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Right. I've been thinking about because I have vacation right now. I'm not working. Um, today's day 3 of I think 9. I think it is.
Mm.
So I'm like trying to figure out what my plan is for the week, and part of that is my sister's here to visit. So I'm gonna be spending a lot of time with her. And then, and I know she doesn't like being on my streams. So I'm not gonna be streaming when she's over and hanging out. So I'm like trying to figure out, do I want to stream this week or do I not want to stream? And how, if I do stream, how often will I be doing it? And like trying to decide on that because sorry, everyone knows I'm my sister's visiting, but that's about it. Like they don't know if I was like, am I gonna stream tomorrow? Who knows? Like all I know is that I have the podcast on Saturday and I have one next Saturday, and then that's all I know. That's how I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, we love it. Sometimes it's best to not have a plan. In
Hmm.
all honesty, like I know we've been talking about plans this like whole hour, but like sometimes in life you need to yeet the itinerary and
Hmm.
just follow your gut. Like follow your
Right?
heart,
Just go
follow
with it.
something.
Follow something. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's for sure. I feel like sometimes I'm like always planning stuff, but I never follow through any of my plans.
Honestly, same. Like I'm it's really funny. Like I'll tell people like, yeah, like I'll make plans, but I know in my heart of hearts that I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna find a way to just completely like say hell with the plan because I don't like them. They stress me. Like I say I'm gonna be here at 9, expect me at 10:30. If I say I'm gonna be somewhere on like August 12th, don't expect me at all.
Hmm.
Like absolutely not. Like it's just plans fall apart. There's always
Hmm.
something that I'm gonna be like, why did I plan that? I don't know.
I know, because you were saying at the beginning of this whole thing that you're an introvert, and I've always been told, and I've always felt the same way that I'm an introvert. I don't like being near people. I don't like. I can only hang out with people for so long, and only certain people, and it that kind of sucks when you have like a full time, customer service type job because you're like people come in and then like as soon as they leave I'm just like I hate people. I'm so done with this.
Oh, yeah, like it's so bad. I cannot. I'll be even if like phone calls,
Mhm.
my sister will call. My sister's an extrovert
Mhm.
and like the most extroverted person I've ever met.
Mhm.
And she'll call me and she'll talk for like 4 hours. And then after the phone conversation, I'll be like begging. I'll be like, I have to get off the phone. I'm sorry. I'm like having a panic attack. And I'll lay down on the couch and I'll cry because I'm
Mhm.
so tired. I'll be like, that was like, I love my sister. I love talking to my sister, but I'll be so tired. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that was so much energy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm exhausted. So it's really odd that I love streaming as much as I do
Right.
because,
Well,
like,
you get
go ahead.
that choice of stopping if you wanted to with streaming. That's the beauty of streaming. You literally
Yeah.
an hour into streaming you're like, kind of done. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
100%. It's like, okay, I'm tired now. Bye.
Pretty much. It's just like, I'm kind of done. I've had to
Yeah.
do that a couple of times, is where I'm just like, kind of done, kind of done. It's kind of funny that you said that your sister is like that, because my sister is kind of the same way. Like, my sister and I will be on FaceTime or Messenger with our cameras on, and we'll literally just be like, I'll be cooking, and she'll just be going on and on and on about whatever she's doing. I'm just cooking dinner. I'm half listening to what she's saying, but she's just rambling about whatever anime she's watching right now, and I'm like, you go. talk about that anime, I'm not listening to one second of what you're saying because I'm focused on this.
I'll be like cooking or I'll clean. I'll be like, I'm already, I have to be doing something, so I'm just gonna clean while I'm up, I guess.
Right.
I love
Um,
that.
so, is there any advice that you would like to give besides the what we've already said before, to anybody else that would be listening that also has similar feels with you? Does that make sense? I think that made sense.
Yeah. I was just like, I was going over my head because I was like, I've already forgotten every word I've said, so like I might repeat myself.
That's fine.
But my advice is honestly, don't give in to the culture. Like, create your own culture in a way. Like, do not give in to grind. Don't push yourself. Like, you're not on this earth to grind it out and just become a skeleton one day. Like, you deserve to be happy and you deserve to listen to your body and treat it well because it has treated you well. Even when it's been a little rude, mine's rude a lot, but even when it's been a little rude, it's still getting you where you need to go. So don't let people get you down or don't let you like don't psych yourself out. Believe in the fact that if this is something you want, if this is something you are passionate about, if this is something that you love and brings you happiness, you deserve it. And even if your journey is different from someone else's, it doesn't make you any less valid. So you can do it. It's going to be a little harder for you, but that just means you can be so much more proud of yourself when you get to where you want to be.
I love that because I tell people all the time, you are valid, you are loved, and that's. I think I just recently wrote. I send out stickers, and it's taken me like 3 months to actually send these stickers out. But when I was writing the letter, I always write a little snippet of something to people, and on a majority of those letters, I wrote down "You are loved and you are valid" because I feel that very is it's needed to be said because sometimes people don't like it's always said to people but like some people don't really like think about it but like whatever you're feeling
Yeah,
whatever you're doing whatever it is you're valid because like someone is also feeling the same exact way as you are. It's like most likely it's what it is someone else is also feeling the same way.
exactly. 100%.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the Q&A section. If you're
Yay.
in the Twitch chat right now, you can ask questions by using 10 channel points. It's just right down there at the bottom. Just click the little thing and you can ask us almost anything. And I say almost because, you know, we do have we have our limits. And yeah, so if you want to go ahead and ask us questions, there's that. While that is happening, I do have two questions currently here. Let me switch on over to the correct scene here. Perfect. So the first question is from Hex Andrew. He says, "What's your favorite game?" Also, Mushbean, I love your lighting and camera quality. It's amazing.
You. Oh god. My favorite that's a really hard question because I love so many games. Like when I think favorite game, I think more of like a I think honestly no. When I say favorite game, immediately I go to Paper Mario. I love that game. It is my childhood. It is my safe space. It is my comfort zone. So I would have to say Paper Mario, honestly. But there's a lot up there in the mix, you know? Like a
Of
lot of them are
course.
like I want to say these, but I go to Paper Mario.
So, what is your like current favorite game then? Like right now?
Oh, right now would be probably Dead by Daylight, honestly, because I've put in so many hours. Like I think I've probably put in like 40 hours this
Mhm.
month or like
Mhm.
over the course of June or something like
Mhm.
a lot of hours.
I just hit the of all time on this file. I have 500 hours. I just hit the 500 hour mark. And I did have like 30. I think 30 hours or something on my husband's file because I was on that one for the longest time until I switched to my own computer. When I
Yeah.
switched to my own computer, I now have like over 500. So I get you.
Yeah, like I
It's a
think
lot.
overall I have 300. I think I'm at 3 now, like
Yes,
somewhere around there.
which means I have 510. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like 30 hours is off of whatever my husband has on there is mine.
Yeah.
So Shiny Wave asks, although I know on the inside it's fine, I always feel immense guilt when I cancel a stream. Not sure if you feel the same, but if so, how do you deal with this feeling?
Ooh. So I used to cry. I used to have such immense guilt that I would just bawl. Like I would sit in the floor and I would cry because I'm very dramatic. Like I feel things very hard. And I would sit and I would cry about it. And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm letting people down. I'm failing." And one day, my husband, who is just the most amazing person in my life, he like looked at me and he said, "Are you happy streaming?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Then why do you cry so much?" And I was like, "I don't want to let anyone down." And he was like, "You're letting yourself down, and that's the most important thing. Because when you let yourself down, you let everyone else down, and they'll be happy and they'll be there for you if they're real. And if they're not, well, you'll find more real people." And he was always been very like, you have to let the guilt go. And it's a lot easier said than done, but I had to do a lot of soul searching, and I had to honestly, I pushed myself once to where I didn't cancel, and I ended stream like almost in tears because I was like, I'm so tired and I'm so exhausted and I just can't do
Mm-hmm.
this. I have to cancel when my body tells me to cancel. And I think that's when I started letting go of the guilt because I expressed it to a couple of the community members and they were like, "We love you. Like we're here for you. We're not here for the game. We're not here for whatever we're here to hang out with you. You're our friend and we want you to be like comfortable and happy." And I was like, "So I'm just hurting you more by hurting me by not canceling." Like that made me cry.
Oh
So
my goodness.
it's a learning thing. Like you have to really like come to grips with it, but the guilt, you shouldn't feel guilty for taking care of yourself ever in your
Mm-hmm.
life. You have to put your like own self, like your health. You have to
Mm-hmm.
put that first because you can't be there for others if you're not there for you.
Perfect. Great advice. I
Yeah.
literally cannot come up with anything better than that. I can't even add anything to that. You did so good on that. I'm just like,
Oh,
no, I'm just gonna shut up right now.
thank you. Oh, I was like, am I rambling like a dumb?
No, 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 that's me. I just ramble forever for no reason.
I ramble a lot. Listen.
Honestly though, that's kind of just streaming in a nutshell is just rambling,
Yeah,
especially in the
yeah,
beginning. Especially in the beginning. Um,
100%.
Lord Bane asks Mushbean, what were the biggest doubts you had when you were about to start streaming?
Uh, if I was going to be good at it, like if I was going to be able to speak with people, because I have like a connection issue a lot of times when like I look, like I question if I'm connected with people. I know that I am, but
Mm-hmm.
like I'm like, am why am I here? Like they don't want me here. They don't want me talking. Why am I doing this? So like I worried that if I sat and tried to stream, like I would be talking and people would be like, "Oh my god, just shut up. Just like leave. Like get off the platform." Like what's with your yeehaw accent? Like I worried about the accent a lot too because it's so thick. And it's like people's favorite thing about me. Like I worried about a lot of like surface level crap. Like, am I
Mm-hmm.
gonna be good at the game? Like, what if people don't like that I'm not a good gamer? Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not like esports. I'm not out here to win. I'm out here to have fun. Like, that's. I think that was like a lot of my doubts and fears was like, will I be enough?
Mm-hmm.
Will I be entertaining?
Mm-hmm. That's for sure because I did the same thing with, especially with the podcast. Um, I was like, I literally, before I decided I was going to do the podcast, I messaged my sister. My sister's literally my best friend. So, like, I messaged her about
Oh.
everything. So, I messaged her. I was like, hey, you're blunt and you'll tell me exactly what you think. Is my voice annoying? And she's like, no, it's not. Why are you asking? I was like, I want to start a podcast, but I just don't feel like I definitely don't have the podcast voice, but I know that I can like talk enough with somebody that we can kind of vibe and like keep talking. I just don't want to have a podcast and it be annoying because I have the annoying voice, you know what I mean? And she's like, "No, you're fine. You're just do what you want to do. Like, you'll have fun doing it. Go do it." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like cuz
Yay.
my sister's very blunt in her how she feels. If I uh she wants me to feel good, but she also wants to make sure that I'm doing things for me and not for other people. She's like, "Are you wanting to do this?" I'm like, "Yes, I do want to do this." Like she watches me play anytime I'm playing Super Mario, any kind of Mario game, she's always there. If I'm playing Dead by Daylight, she's not going to be there. she, she doesn't. She's like, that game's so boring and annoying. It's the same thing over and over again. I don't want to watch you play it anymore. I was like, that's fine. I totally get it. She's like, but let me know when you're playing Animal Crossing. I'll be there in like 5 seconds flat. Like I'm there.
Oh,
but
I love that.
but my sister's always been able to do that for me. So like all anything that I've ever doubted about anything that I do, I always just kind of like ask her, and then I'm like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" She's like, "Stop asking me and just do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care."
Oh, I love that. We love supportive family in this
Yeah,
house. Hell yeah.
love that.
We love it.
Okay, Shiny Wave asks, do you have a favorite mushroom?
Oh my gosh, yes. So obviously I'm not gonna name off names because I'm awful with like names, but I will tell you what they look like. I like the red and white ones. Because that's just like a very aesthetically pleasing mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like the any mushroom that's like blue or
Mm-hmm.
like almost glowy in the dark, like anything that's like extremely odd and like you when you look at it you're like what am I looking at, like anything that's like eye catching.
Mm-hmm.
I love mushrooms like that. There is a kind of like it's a fungus. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. This is something I love. It's a fungus, so it's still kind of technically a mushroom, but it's a more of a flower,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called a ghost flower, and it's like this white um stalk that only comes up like
Mm-hmm.
2 months out of the year, and it's so pretty, and I love it, and it makes me happy. Mushrooms are just mushrooms represent something very like personal to me because
Mm-hmm.
it is something eating like dead things. It's a fungus and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't want to be like taken down. It survives. It's like very I don't know, it's very like I'm a mushroom. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a fungus growing on this dead stuff and I'm just going to thrive. Like you cannot beat me. I will not be defeated.
I love that so much. Oh my god. It's kind of funny cuz like okay, so like fairy circles. When you hear about
Yes.
fairy circles, it's usually a tree trunk, and then there's usually mushrooms, toadstools, all around in a circle around the tree. Typically, sometimes there's no tree, and it's just literally a circle of mushrooms. I remember watching or reading something, and it's like, oh, it's the game of, is it a fairy circle, or is there a dead body here? And
Yes.
so I'm like, that's a great question. I was like, either way, you're kind of screwed because if you jump into a fairy circle, you're screwed for the rest. Like, you're
Yeah.
not getting out of there.
Yeah, for real. Like I love that happens though. Like the mushroom circle. Like I
Hmm.
love that mushrooms do the things that they do. And so like anytime I see mushrooms, like you should go through my camera roll one day. Like it's just mushrooms I find in the woods. Like I'll go on a hike and I'm like, here's a new mushroom. Click. Oh, here's a mushroom that looks like that one, but it's got a little bite taken out of it. Click. Like
I love that. Oh
yes, I
gosh, so
love
you go like
mushrooms.
you like go mushroom hunting and stuff, and oh, I love that.
Yeah. it's fun. They're cute. They bring me serotonin, and I will take all the
Oh,
serotonin I can get.
yes. So
Yes.
Shiny just posted in the chat, y'all. This is a live recording, so I'm not really reading chat. But if you are um, wanting to ask us a question, I believe there's like 6 more available questions, ish. So if you want to ask a question, go ahead and just put the little channel point redemption at the bottom. Um, no, we answered that one. I got it. Let me just double check. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah. No, no, you good. You good, Shiny. But yeah, if you want to ask us any questions, we've got quite a bit that you can ask and whatnot. Ninja Chica, wow, words. And I like had something in my throat and the same thing. What is something you struggle with the most, and how do you cope with it?
Uh, I would say something I struggle with the most is actually like hyping myself up to start. The hit the go live button is the
Mm-hmm.
scariest thing that I think I will face when I stream. Like, cause I'm like, click click go live. Um, it just like I think I do the whole like I still doubt myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Lord Bane's question, like I doubted if I was entertaining. I still do that. You know, like I think I still very much to this day have like a lot of imposter syndrome and a lot of fears that people won't show up or people don't want to be around me anymore. And I'll be like, how do I do this? But I always how I deal with it is I put on music, like
Mm-hmm.
really hot music, and I just like dance. I'm like, listen, girl, you gotta live your best life. And if it doesn't work today, it'll work tomorrow. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's never the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it would either be that or asserting myself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very bad at boundaries. Like I let people kind of get away with things. Like I'll have very specific rules in my chat
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll let people slide because I'm like, I don't want to be rude. But can't do that.
It's kind of what the mods are for, though. They help out in those situations where you'll just be like, it's I'm not really sure about that, but then your mods are like, nope, not dealing with that, not happening, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, we're not dealing with that today. I didn't really feel like dealing with that, so I'm glad you said something and not me.
Oh yeah, like bless mods. Like mods make Twitch run. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Twitch would be here without mods in
Right.
all honesty. They've had my back through thick and thin.
Oh,
I'm very thankful for mods for sure.
same. The stuff that I had going on a few months ago that I was saying earlier, they were there like every second that I needed them, and
Oh.
that was outside of streaming. So like your mods, honestly, I feel like your mods should be people that you trust and people that are like your friends and such, because like you can't you can't have people be in charge of something that you want to put out without like somebody that knows how you are and knows how you feel about certain things and knows like, this troll is in this chat and how long do they want to stay in there, or like, because there's some
Mm.
mods where I've seen them just like leave something that's kind of mean, and like the streamer read it. Like, you don't want the streamer to read that. Like, you want it to be gone ASAP.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want that, and ignore the rest of it. Like, we don't need to egg it on. So mods definitely run Twitch, lurkers run Twitch, and
Oh yeah.
everything. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
hell no, we protect. Exactly.
Yeah, like I was a mod for pretty much like 2 years before I started streaming actually.
Mhm.
So it's funny that I can't do the boundaries for myself at all the times,
Mhm.
but like when it comes to like whoever I'm modding for, I'm like, absolutely not. We're not having that. This does not belong here. I don't want it here. Take it
Mhm.
somewhere else. Like I just straight up fight people. Like I'm ready. Like I'm small and full of chaos. And I'm like, ah. But then on my own stuff, I'm like, I'm a little bit of a baby. I don't know what to do.
You're like, like I don't really want you here, but like you're here anyway, so like, I guess.
Yeah, like I think it's because I'm not really bothered by trolling. People can't hurt me. Like I have
Hmm.
mental health issues. Like, boo, what you think you're gonna say that I ain't already said to myself? Like,
Right. Oh
so
God.
like it doesn't affect me to where I feel like I have to yeet it out of my chat because if they're attacking me, I kind of I'm just like, okay, like whatever, and I just
Mhm.
kind of ignore it. But I
Mhm.
think I would snap immediately if they attacked like one of my mods or someone in chat. Like I would snap before the mods would. I'd be like, no, we're not
Mhm.
having that.
Mhm.
Like attack someone else. Boundaries are there, and I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
you want to fight my friends? You got to go through me first.
yeah.
That kind of reminds me. I did have a troll. Usually, the trolls that I end up having are typically having to do with my weight because I'm plus size. So like they'll come into my they'll come into my chat and they'll say something and they're like, you're kind of fat there." And then the last time they said something, I'm like, "Wait, you I've been waiting for this." And I literally went into my Zoom cam and I like got my double chin going and I was just like, "Does this do it for you? Does this get you off?"
Yes.
I was just like, I
Yes.
was so excited about it because I'm like, I've been waiting for this moment for like the last like 4 months for somebody to just come into my chat to do this to me because I've been like ready for my Zoom cam. And the time you're
Yes.
in the crop top legendary. Oh yeah, I did have another one where I was they didn't you can't see it cuz I stream with like you don't see it as much the bottom half of me. And they said something about my weight again and I like popped up and I was like, good news for you because I'm in a crop top today and I'm feeling myself right now. Like I'm feeling so good. Like I don't know
Hell
what you're
yeah.
trying to do because like the confidence I have is beyond what you're trying to tell me here.
Exactly. Like when it's like anytime someone comes in like trying to attack like a physical appearance, it's like, boo, I love myself. Like I don't know what you're self-projecting, what you have against
Hmm.
you and why you're miserable in here, but honey, I'm thriving. Like
Hmm.
sucks to suck.
Exactly. And
It's
with the like depression and stuff, like you kind of can't like you already feel those ways about yourself sometimes anyway. Like I definitely felt like a lot of the times when I look at myself, I'm like, not doing so hot. But if somebody was to come into my chat when I was feeling not so good about myself, I'm still gonna fight them about it. Like, you don't need to be coming into my chat telling me that I'm fat. Like, I already know that. You don't need to be telling me something I don't already know. I've already said worse things than what you're gonna tell me already. Like,
yeah, like that like I think that's a big thing. Is like you know your like your own personal like demons, like you know what hurts you the most, so you say that to yourself when you have depression or when you have really
mm-hmm.
bad anxiety. So when someone comes in trying to pick at something, you're like, ha ha ha, I already said that to myself this morning before my coffee, like try again, scrub.
Try again. Try find something better to do. Really.
Go
I love that.
ahead. I just like people amuse me, but I mean in a way I kind of like it when they take their time on me because I'm
Mhm.
able to laugh it off and then usually throw it back at them.
Mhm.
And then that's like, 5-10 minutes less that they were hurting someone that would be hurt by it because not everyone
Mhm.
has that like mental shield.
For sure.
I feel like a lot of streamers are getting it. Like I feel like you grow a skin with
Mhm.
streaming, and I think as long as you're like you're wasting your time on me, my guy, like come on, hit me as hard as you want. I
Mhm.
promise you, you're not gonna win the fight though.
Mhm. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Is there any other questions that we would like to ask going on in here? Um, for oh my god, my brain. I believe we have about four ish. or I can't count anymore because I don't have them up on my screen anymore. I push accept once I am done with them. That way we don't reread the same questions over and over again. But I think we have about 4 or 5 left. If you would like to ask this question, it's just in the channel points down below. If you're listening on the podcast, this has already been done, obviously. But like, if you want to see this live, we do go live on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and you can ask questions all you would like there. Same thing with YouTube.
Heck yeah.
I love looking at the chat here and just seeing like she will 100% fight.
Yeah, I was like scrolling through just to see because like I listened and I put it away before the Q&A part, and then I
Yeah.
was like looking at what some people were saying. I love
Yeah.
it.
All right. Ninja asks, how do you deal with a lack of confidence in streaming slash what you are putting out there? Sorry.
Oh, I have a really strict policy on faking it till you make it. And I will pretend I'm confident. And that is something that has come with a lot of experience of being a not confident person. I was always very self-conscious in school of like my presence. Like I feel like I'm more aware of myself than like an average human is. Like I feel like I'm like, oh, there are 10 people in this room and at least 8 of them are probably looking at me right now. Like, you know, like I'm way too consumed by my own bubble and how much space I'm taking up. So I had to learn confidence and faking it. And I honestly like 100% you will become confident with faking it. You take it, like you manifest that energy, you fake that energy, you will become confident. Like there is a like actual science to the positive affirmations that you're giving yourself when you're faking it, because you're like, yeah, I got this. And then over time, you're like, oh, actually, I stopped faking it weeks ago. Like, I'm actually just confident now. And don't, no self-deprecating jokes. I'm the worst for self-deprecation. Like as a crutch for humor, no, you can't. If you are in the confidence building stage, don't do it because it will affect you. It'll set you back. But know that when you put something out there, it's no longer yours. It becomes a product of everyone, and people are allowed to hate it. People accept that people have opinions. Accept that not everyone's going to love you. You are not everyone's cup of tea, cup of coffee, shot of whiskey. You're not. You're like you never will be. There's 7 billion people on this planet. Like
Not
you
everyone's
can't
gonna
have
like
7 billion.
you.
Exactly. Like you like not even half of them is probably gonna like you. Sorry for that sad fact, but
But
that's
it's
still
probably true.
yeah, that's still billions of people. Like you still have so many people that someone will vibe with you. Someone will look at you and be like, I like that person. So it's just a fake your confidence until you get there, and then once you get there, you're like you keep it by knowing that you're happy, you're doing what you love, and always create for yourself. Whatever you're creating, whatever you're putting out there, let it be for you. If it's not for other people, you will never be confident about it. I'm 100% convinced of that.
Make it because it's something that you would like to have. I feel like that with YouTube, like posting on YouTube and stuff like that. Like I've been trying to figure out what I want to post on YouTube and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And I'm like, do I really want to do that, or do I just want to make something that I think would be kind of cool? Like I'm working on. Sorry. Oh, I'm so tired.
You're good.
It's I've been working on Dead by Daylight, doing the adept achievements, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to put that as a YouTube video, and I did that because I thought it would be cool. That would be something that I would watch. I would go watch somebody's, Dead by Daylight match on YouTube. I've done it before. So I make content because it's something that I would go out and watch. Like I went out and watched speed builds for a while on Animal Crossing. So I made a bunch of Animal Crossing speed builds and posted those, and it's just something that I don't care if it does well or not. I just know that I would enjoy it. So,
Yeah, that's actually a really not to kind of derail it, like it's within the same vein, I promise. Like that mentality though is a really good way to build a community of like-minded people that you will keep. That is like a very solid foundation community because if you post anything that you would watch, like if you post what you would consume normally, the people like you that consume that content will be a part of your community. And that's like a very solid way to establish friendships, establish a community, like just a nice foundation for what you're building. So always create what you would consume.
yeah. So you can create that community you've always wanted to have.
And then you'll be confident in a community that you vibe with. I think that's a big thing too. Like if you're in a community that you're not comfortable with, you'll never be confident because you've created an atmosphere in which you're not probably your happiest because it's not like within your vibe or within your energy. And then like how are you going to be confident in a situation that you're uncomfortable in? Like you'd have to be super confident. Like you'd have to be like Superman confident level.
You'd have to be prepared for that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
All is good when you placebo affect yourself. Exactly. Faking it until you make
Yeah.
it. It really. I was literally going to say when you said that it was scientific proof that it actually works. I remember reading a while back that if you like people that fake smile are most likely going to actually be happier because after you are fake smiling after for so long, you kind of grow on to the fact that you are actually happy.
Yeah, like you trick your brain into thinking like, am I still fake smiling or am I actually creating the hormone? And then you actually do start, your brain will start creating the serotonin that you need to like smile. Like because it's like we're already smiling. Hey, we actually kind of like this. Like
Yeah.
there's such a like a deep set psychology in being like, I'm happy, I'm confident, I'm here. Like self-affirmations too. Say I don't care how cheesy it is. Get in front of your window or mirror, not your window. I mean, you could your window. Let your neighbors know that you're confident. But get in front of one of those two things and just like dance and sing and scream how much you love yourself. Like, hey, you're a badass. Let's go. Like, kill that shit. Like, let's fucking go.
Let's go. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. I agree. I completely agree on that. I'm wearing shorts in this, and I keep sticking to my chair because it is way too hot for my liking.
Oh no. I hate that. I hate when I stick to the chair. I'm like, oh no, this is uncomfortable. I have to peel
Exactly.
myself off.
I usually wear longer shorts so that it doesn't happen, but it's been because I live in Washington and we had that huge heat wave last week, and then it's still pretty hot. It's not too hot. It's just it's average right now because it's 74 degrees is what my little thing on my screen is telling me. 74 degrees outside, but I prefer not that.
Yeah, I didn't know you were in the Pacific Northwest. So I
Yeah.
didn't know you were affected by those heat waves. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
That was
Tiny and I
hot.
live relatively close to each other.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
One day we'll meet each other in real life. One day.
Yes. Twitch meetups are the dream, honestly. Like meeting your friends or like just meeting your mods or just meeting community members. Like, hell yeah,
Yes,
let's go.
for sure. I think I'll pass on window confidence boosting. I'll leave the curtains closed even.
No, that's like the next step of confidence. And now I'm gonna write a book on confidence building. And like step 2 is screaming out your window every morning so your neighbors know how confident you are, which I probably need to do. because my neighbors don't like me. So like, let's go.
I love that. My upstairs neighbor is my landlord, so I have to. I mean, I could be loud, but I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to get yelled at.
Yeah, like not don't start trouble. Like skip step 2 if it's gonna cause you any kind of issues.
He is nice though. He's a nice being.
Oh, we love that. We love nice beans.
Right. Okay, so from there, since we don't have any other questions, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up here. I appreciate you so much, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation to the podcast. I don't. That was an invitation, right? Is that what? That's the right word?
Yeah, you invited me. You gave me a choice, and I was. Well, it wasn't really a choice though, because I was like, I didn't even read past the first like sentence. Honestly, I was just like, yes, yes, I'll be a part of it.
I love that so much. Oh my god. I feel like this podcast has been really cool to have to talk to other people, to see their perspectives on a lot of things, especially with like being on Twitch and content creating, because like that's something that I really would love to be doing more in, and seeing everybody else's point of view, also seeing their journey, like where they started from and like going through. That was kind of my big thing, because my experience is different from everybody else's experience, and it's kind of cool to see everybody else's experience and how they go through
Yeah,
it.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
thank you again for being on here. For those that are in the Twitch chat, we are going to just go on the ending screen just so that we can have the ending screen. But don't go anywhere, because we'll be talking and saying hello to everybody, as well as getting ready for a raid so we can bring our love onto another community as well. Nope, that was just saying hi and all that fun stuff. If you are in YouTube or on any other podcast platforms, there we go. Uh, we have another episode next week. If you want to see it live, it's going to be on my channel, twitch.tv/glamourfairy, at 3 p.m. on Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Daylight Time? Pacific Time.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking with Titus Shot, the person that kind of made me want to do podcasts. They're the first person that I ever like experienced podcasts on Twitch before with. So it'll be a really fun experience to talk with Titus Shot, and they're also part of Club Tortimer, which is my team that I am a part of. I appreciate everybody that's been hanging out and whatnot. So we will see the people in the Twitch chat in a few minutes, or less than a few minutes. And everybody else, we'll see you guys next time. And thank you guys for being here. We appreciate everybody. Okay, bye.